Okay, rainy day in Vancouver. It's not really rainy, but it's like drizzling and it's gloomy as fuck, and this is how it's all the time. Yeah. Anyways, today is day 2 of me yapping about something, anything, impromptu, to get my articulation right, but also to speak about something interesting, something unique. Maybe it's a reflective thing, maybe it's some topic that I found interesting, whatever. And so today's topic is going to be signal to noise ratio. Apparently, all the Elon Musks of the world, all the Jeff Bezos of the Steve Jobs of the world have this very interesting way of putting, actually in the world of business, right? This is very prominent. It's called signal to noise ratio. Okay. Signal to noise ratio as in signal is the important things that will get you closer to your goal, and then noise is everything else, right? So let's say when you're trying to market a product, or when you're trying to see how successful a product has been, what we usually do is look for KPIs, right? Key performance indicators. So these key performance indicators are the signals for us to identify if we are going closer to our goal or not. So now the actions that we take to get the signal closer to our goal, closer to what we want it to be, right? That is what's the most important thing. But if you look at everything else, right, all the other metrics which eventually is gathered or eventually we get, those are all nice. Let's say if you bring it to a very personal perspective, let's say you're facing something in your life and you go to a couple friends and you talk to them about it. Most of what they're gonna tell you is gonna be something that you would not even try, something that you would not even take as advice. It's mostly noise. Like, those are called noises when there's just not, their advice is just not helpful at all, right? But you in this case are able to assess if it is helpful or not helpful, and then pick the one which you think is going to be the most helpful, or in the end pick the one that you think is right? That's called signal and noise. So all the Jeff Bezos of the world and all the Musks and all the Steve Jobs and whatnot, what they have is a very high signal to noise ratio, which lets them be the person they are. It's not about thinking 100 steps ahead of time. It's not about having this crazy visionary mindset and outlook to life and whatnot, but it's rather a series of steps that you take to achieve that goal. And that series of steps or series of actions have to be signals, and the amount of time you spend on those signals compared to the amount of time you spend towards noise, everything else in your life, right, is what is going to get you successful and what is not. Funny enough, when I learned this concept, right, learned it a couple of days ago. I was watching this podcast by The Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett. And he was interviewing Kevin Muller, Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Wonderful from what's that show? Shark Tank. And in the show, they talk about this concept of signal to noise ratio, and I was like, shit, okay, dude, this makes sense. this gives intentionality to life. It gives a purpose to life. I've been struggling to answer this question. What is the purpose of my existence? What is it that I am here to do? What is the meaning of life, really? Because I've had goals as a human being. I tried to achieve them. I've achieved quite a bit of them, right? And now I still have goals, but my actions are completely not aligned to my goals. So if my body, if my mind, if my soul does not want to achieve those goals, then what is the purpose of having goals? So what is the purpose of having goals is the question. What is the purpose of having goals? What are you supposed to do as a human being when you exist for, I don't know, some 60 to 80 to some 100 years ago, right? What is it that you're supposed to do? It's a question that always has been around, right? But it's something that I'm feeling right now. What am I supposed to do as a human? What is the purpose of me doing all the things that the world wants me to do, as well as myself? The world wants me to do, as in me being surrounded by these opinions, me being surrounded by these matters, me being surrounded by all these different things has caused these to be, like, my mindset to be influenced to want to choose these things, right? So my question is, what is it? What does it mean to be alive? Anyways, my mother tongue is Kannada, and there's a old proverb that says Kaya Kave Kailasa. Kaya Kave Kailasa means work is worship in a way, but it says your work is your way to heaven. So, interestingly enough, humans' purpose is to work. Their entire point of existence is to work. This is making me quite uncomfortable as I speak all of this, because I am not sure. Right? People choose to retire after they work. You know why? Because they don't want to work. They feel like they worked enough. And believe me, 90% of those people will not ever agree to the concept that their work was heaven. There are few people who enjoy. See, these are very interesting questions. Enjoying life, enjoying work. What does it mean to enjoy work? Right? What does it mean to enjoy? If you're enjoying something, you're pursuing that, then as a human being, then what is your purpose? Right? Work is not your purpose then. Enjoying is your purpose. Is that what you strive for? Is that what you want? But even if that is what you want, how do you know that doing what you want is the way to go? Because right now, see, wanting is a very funny thing, right? You can always contradict yourself. I have so many goals which I want to do, but at the same time, I want to lie down and laze on my couch. See, two different things, two contradictory things, two opposing things, but both of the things that I want to do at the same time. So what is this? It's about picking. It's about being in confusion. It's about, in a way, suffering. It's about not being free, but at the same time being free. Okay, I digress. Let's come back. So, okay, where was I? Signal to noise ratio, right? So there are a few steps I've taken. I heard the podcast. Like I listened to the podcast a couple days ago. And what I have been doing since is slowly taking out all the noise in my day to day. Right. To be honest, since I watched the podcast, I haven't gotten anything done. No productivity, nothing except for one day where I got done with two tasks. Two high value tasks that will get me closer to my goals. But after that, nothing. So it's been 2-3 days since then. Okay, fair enough. So my struggle here is I have way too much noise around me. Right? There is way too much noise around me that I am not able to focus on me and the goals I have and the signals that will lead me to my goals. Again, we'll get to this. I have some more time before we get to the gym. So think about this, right? I got rid of the games on my phone, YouTube from my phone. I got rid of Instagram from my phone. So only thing that I have right now is LinkedIn. That is considered any side of social media which will let me consume videos and all that crap. Fair. The next thing is my goals. Right. This is interesting. Quite interesting enough. Oh, such a cute puppy. Anyways, interesting enough because the goals that I have, it seemed to be very fucking vague, like super vague. Because I'm not sure what my goals are supposed to be. So right now, the only clear goal, like it's not even that clear. My goal is to become a product manager right now, like some sort of product role. Okay. Okay, cool. Product role, product management, very businessy role, very consumer talking, very problem identification, all that crap. So fun, very good, very good. And then there is the other side of the coin where this is not deep enough. Like this is not a specific goal enough. Smart goals, right? Measurable. How would I measure that I'm reaching my goal to become a product manager? I don't get it, right? What? I'm getting interviews. Okay, that could be one. I'm not getting interviews, so there's something seriously wrong here. Second is time bound. Yes, it is time bound. Right? Become a product manager or something of that sort by the time I graduate. Right? So that is number 2. And then number 3. SMAR. R is what? Results. Time. Yeah, R is result. R is result. SMART, whatever. Measurable, time bound, result oriented. What am I supposed to get done? My actions, right? My actions are apply to jobs, prepare for interviews, take courses, shit like that. Okay, so in a way it is specific enough. In a way it is smart goal enough, but it's not specific. Okay, cool. That is one goal. That is one goal that I'm giving my entire living soul body to. But I'm not so motivated enough to push through to do all those goals. So for this to happen, I listened to this very nice podcast from Andrew Huberman yesterday, where he talked about how to set and achieve goals. Simple, right? Set specific goals, measurable goals. Oh, there's a beautiful Panamera in front of me, or it might be a Carrera. It is a Panamera Forest. I knew it. beautiful, beautiful Panamera forest. Ah, I'll drive this shit one day. Anyways, not that shit. I'll drive a 911 turbo. Take that shit around, whip it around. Anyways, this was the most unarticulated conversation I've had with myself. It feels like almost some yapping, but it's okay. Some days it can be like this because I do not have a clear structure of how I'm gonna approach things in my mind. So this is how it goes. This is almost a reflective conversation. So let's go back to setting and achieving goals. So Andrew Huberman says that to set your goals, you need to think about the things that will think about the actions that you could take instead of taking the actions that are going to get you closer to your goal. And in the process, think about how negatively everything can turn out if you choose to take the alternative paths. Okay, and by doing so, your brain is motivated to take that first step. And to take that first step, there's actually a quick little exercise. All you have to do is look at something which is beyond your reach, beyond the reach of your hand and beyond your body, and then focus on it for a couple seconds. Really focus. That is enough to get your adrenaline pumping, and that is enough to get you taking that first step, like getting your ass off the chair or the couch and shit like that. And once you do that, then you can go on with your goals. And then for your goals, you can do anyways, for your goals, you can set steps, like quite literally steps to achieve your goal. You need to be able to visualize your goal. 1 second, achieve your goal. And then once you're done with that, you basically have to follow through. Do those actions every day. And then weekly check your progress, how you've been doing every week. Because that will induce dopamine, and dopamine is what is going to keep you motivated to keep pushing. And so check your progress every day, set goals, and then put steps. Every week, this is where I'm supposed to be, this is where I want to go. Not every week, but like this is the end goal, and then these will be the milestones. Then all you have to do is just check for the milestones. That's it. Doing so, you will be happy. You will be achieving your goals. You will be measuring every week, and you will know progress. Amazing, right? Okay. The point of all of this was signal to noise ratio, and we basically try to achieve higher signals. Okay.